morning, everybody. It's 9 o'clock. We're ready to start the, what's the date? June 9th, 2026 Commissioner meeting. First thing this morning, we got Adam Conder with the Free Methodist Church with our opening prayer. Good morning.
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 It's a privilege to be here, and it is a privilege to serve our community together. So let us pray. Almighty God, as we begin this day, we pause to acknowledge you as the source of all wisdom and strength and authority and blessing. God, we thank you for the gift of this new day, for the opportunity to gather together in service to our community. God, today we pray for your blessing upon this meeting, upon all who are present. Thank you for those who have accepted the responsibility of public service. God, I pray that you would grant them wisdom beyond their understanding, discernment in their decisions, integrity in their leadership. God, help them to serve not for personal gain or recognition, but for the good of the people and the strengthening of this county. Lord, we pray for our community. God, bless our homes and families. Protect our schools, businesses, farms, churches, and neighborhoods. God, we pray that you would watch over those who serve as first responders, healthcare workers, educators, and, Lord, public servants. God, we pray that you would provide for those who are facing hardship. Encourage them, Lord, as they carry heavy burdens. Lord, as discussions take place today, this morning, I pray that you would give each person a spirit of respect and cooperation. Help those who speak to do so with clarity and grace, and those who listen to do so with patience and understanding. God, I pray for difficult situations that will arise. Let truth prevail over convenience, wisdom, and impulse. Lord, let our service to our community be not out of self-interest. God, your word teaches that unless you build a house, the builders labor in vain. So therefore, we ask for your guidance over this work, Lord, over the decisions that will be made today. Direct our paths, guard our hearts, and help us to pursue what is right, just, and beneficial for all. May this meeting be productive, honorable, and marked by sincere desire to serve our neighbors well. We commit this day and this gathering to you, and in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Great.
Thanks, Adam.
Thank you, Adam. Meeting minutes of 5/12/2026. Do you guys see anything that need to be changed?
I'll make a motion to approve meeting minutes.
Motion by Commissioner Cook. Do I have a second?
A second.
Second by Commissioner Gabhart. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Next, we got Chris, the Highway Department. Good morning, Chris.
See that? No way. Guys everywhere. The sun's on the front page of the Davies County something.
He's a ham. I don't know
Yeah.
where he gets it
Takes
from.
after his mother.
Yeah, exactly. I guess you guys got the annual report, so I don't have it in front of me just to make a motion to accept that. If it's a bunch of numbers, basically telling what our
Yeah,
expenditures was.
last meeting you gave it to us, and there was a couple things that you needed to, what was it, you needed to change in it or something like that?
And it was just, we had to add some stuff
Yeah,
to
you had to add,
the
some of the
mileage.
mileage, that's
I
right.
think it was our mileage wasn't on there.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the 2026 annual report.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Cook, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gabhart. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0.
Then the next thing you guys have is the LPA consulting contract between the county and the Lockmuller Group, or the Lockmuller Group?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, for Bridge 95, yeah, up in Ragglesville, for them to do the preliminary engineering on the construction of that bridge. I sent a copy to Grant, but that's a boilerplate contract that is basically monitored by NDOT. They have to approve it. They approve all the funds and the amounts, and once they look at it and approve it, they send it to me. I send it back to the consultant to sign it, and then we bring it to you guys for approval. But if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. But I think the fees are set.
I'll make a motion to approve the consulting contract for bridge number 95.
Motion by Commissioner Cook. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Gabhart. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0.
Then I've got a bridge number 176, which is on County Road 700 East, that we did a contract with CLR. They're gonna replace that bridge, I think, starting in July. And basically, I got the bridge plans, and I'd like to see about getting you guys to sign them. It's kind of for our documentation on which commissioners were here, and we sign it, we keep them in the file. But this is just a copy of the actual bridge construction plans. They've worked the plans up of what they're gonna do, and we went back and forth with them, and that's the final copy of it. So this is not, nobody has to accept anything.
Was this the one that we were going to just replace the decking?
Yeah, the rail car bridge, it was the old
Yeah.
rail car bridge, it couldn't,
Okay,
wouldn't pass inspection.
so we're replacing the whole thing?
Yeah, so we've already agreed to all that, that's just kind of
Just so we understand.
something
Does it
we
need to be
keep,
approved, or we just need to sign it?
just need to sign it. I guess you can approve the copy of the construction plans.
I entertain a motion to approve the construction plans of bridge, which bridge is it? Bridge
176.
170.
176, yeah. And it's got a place on there for Jen to sign too.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Cook. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gabhart. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes.
And then on the updates, we're basically, putting rock and fabric down on the roads that we tiled last year for, upgrading our county roads that we tiled. I think we tiled about 18 mile last year, and, with some of the funding stuff with the governor suspending the gas tax for 60 days and then maybe another 60 days, and the surtax, we'll probably monitor how that's going. The first check that we got, we was thinking our income was gonna be lower, and it wasn't lower, so we'll see what the next one is. But I think that we don't wanna get too far ahead of ourselves, so maybe some of the 18 mile that we tiled last year, we don't wanna just dive in and spend the rest of the money hard surfacing it yet. Wait and see how the gas tax thing plays out. I know the governor said that they were going to use the reserves and reimburse us for all the counties for the shortfalls that we may get with the suspension, but that is an awful lot of money, so we'll see if that can be done. I'm sure that they want to do it, but it might not be able to be done. Part of that, I think we've got some CDs and a little bit of a cash balance, but we're not wanting to run it out, so that might be some conversations at the next highway meeting. With you guys on, do we need to scale back? Definitely we need to monitor it and not just do it just because we've always done it, and watch our funding. I think, my CDs are due, probably some of them at the end of this month and in July, and me and Jen are gonna sit down and make sure we look at the budget and see what we need to keep out of the CDs to help compensate for the shortfall from the gas tax. So not getting too deep in it, but I think some of the 18 miles, we might wait. When we go to tile 18 miles this year, or 15 miles, we might not tile quite as many for next year. But it's just depending on the income. Most of the time we operate on, not about the money, it's what we can get done in a year. Usually the money's there, it's just the weather and the timing and the workforce that we have to see what we can do in each individual year. But this year, I think we need to make sure that we don't, because we're really doing good. I don't want to do too much and run ourselves out of money. So it is a concern, but not right immediate. It's just something we need to be aware of.
No, you keep a good handle on things there, Chris, and we kind of talked there about maybe hitting the brakes just a little bit on some of the things because of the gas tax. I think it's probably a pretty good idea till we know what's going on. I know these big rains, you got busy. We had what, that last big rain, had 6 or 7 pipes blow out?
Yeah, we had two that were, we don't get regular rains anymore, we just get, I don't know what we get, but we had two of them that completely washed out. You know, one was out for probably a good week or so, and we had to replace it. So there's always unexpected costs with that when you get them storms that wash a culvert out and close down a road. And I've got I guess I got to check. Can I give it?
Is that the one that just came for?
Yes.
Okay.
So we got our, when we did the Montgomery Bridge back in, I think 23 and closed it in 24, we had to send, some money to the railroad that they would use to work off of. So we've been waiting to get that, everything completed and documented, and we finally got that. So that's, I think, $330,000 that we had got back from the railroad. That was almost 2 years of emailing and phone calls, but we finally got it. So, yeah, if she cashes it right away, that would be good. And I think that's all I have. I didn't really have much.
You had plenty. There was a lot of
Yeah.
good information there.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks a lot, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Keep up the good work. Next up, we got
Chris.
Cindy Barber with the North Davis Business Alliance.
You get Dan Henning, but I'll go ahead and
Community
provide
group.
that introduction for you. First of all, thank you for making time on the agenda. Dan was already down to present to DCEDC later this morning, so that worked out well since he's a Crane person and hard to get time away to come down, so thank you so much. I just wanted to share, I was sitting with Dan thinking about kind of the start of this process for the North Davies Community Growth Alliance. And part of it was born out of Leadership Davies County and the networks that are formed through that program, and recognizing community needs and pulling together like-minded, passionate people. So Jennifer Morris and Audra O'Neill, who you appointed to the Westgate Authority Board, and Amber Warden kind of came together when OBA was thinking about dismantling and weren't sure what was going to happen, and we've all had a passion for wanting to be supportive of the northern part of the county. So what they have now is a very vibrant board, really taken the bull by the horns and making lots of great changes up there. So excited to have Dan Henning here to talk to you about that organization and the good things that are happening in the northern part of the county.
Sure. Thank you, Cindy. So as Cindy mentioned previously, Odin had an Odin Business Alliance, and the name was that. It was a business alliance. And it was lacking several things, and it eventually sort of petered out, lost oxygen, if you will. But it has since become the North Davies Community Growth Alliance. And if you look at just the change in the name, you can start to see what we're doing. We've gone from Odin Business Alliance to North Davies Community Growth Alliance, right? And so that kind of talks to the purpose of the group here. And so we don't focus on just businesses now. We don't focus on just Odin now. We don't just host 4 events a year funded through membership now. We do ribbon cuttings for local businesses. We are increasing the social media engagement. We have a larger board. We were down to 4 people before. We have now a consistent 10-person board, so we have more resources than before. We're building bridges like we didn't before, so we have enhanced collaboration. We're now meeting with each North Davies City Council. We've been briefing County Council. We're briefing Davies County Economic Development. We're here today to provide you with information and answer questions as well. We've been building relationships with the Visitors Bureau. We've been building relationships with Purdue Extension, Discover Downtown Washington, and great things are happening. So as you see with the handout, we have, with the change in name, we also have a change in mission statement, improved bylaws, and a much greater scope of effort. And because of the additional resources and the new energy on the board, we have been able to kickstart a facade grant program. That should hit social media just about any day with the call for projects, and we're expecting great things. So looking at the numbers from previous facade grant programs, Davies County helped Washington start theirs, but I think there was a total of $20,000 in public funding provided that generated almost $280,000 in private funding, which is essentially a 7x return on investment. So I don't know a lot about county commissioners and what they do, but I know that you guys.
That makes
are
two
passion-
of us.
Yeah, I know you're passionate about getting private investments going for the greater cause of the community, and this facade grant program will do that. And so with that, the facade grant program will improve visible appeal in small towns that otherwise lack people on salary, they lack resources, even hard to find volunteers in small towns sometimes, right? So visible improvements, private investment, increased foot traffic, greater community engagement, and building preservation. Like even if right now all we're doing is facade grant programs, that can lead to other grants that can provide structural support, that can lead to Okra grants and other things that will not happen until we get started, right? So this is just the beginning. We're hoping for great things, and we're happy to answer any questions you have.
I don't have any, got a lot of great things going on. I'm glad to see something up in that area kind of get started, kind of like Discover Downtown, you know, just on that order. That's well needed up in that area.
Yes, and thank you to Brandy Weiland. She's been a mentor, helped us get started, and as Martin County as well. So it's great seeing the community talking to each other, just building relationships. Good things are happening there as well.
It looks great, yeah, great job, and, yeah, just what we need, especially with Westgate and all the development we've got going on up there. This is gonna be a nice add-on, so thanks for stepping up and spearheading this.
Appreciate you guys.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Do we need a motion on that grant facade? I know the council. What was the amount? Was it
I think it was 10.
10,000 from the council? Okay. So technically, it'd be a commissioner decision, so we'll decide if we want to spend that money when you get a motion.
Okay. Entertain motion to, for the grant for the Davis County Community Growth Alliance.
So moved.
Motion by T.C. Cook. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Gabhart. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Sorry about that. That's my fault.
Okay, good. All right, great, thank you.
Next, we got the stop loss renewal with Amy Davis and MJ. Oh, Paul, you don't count, sorry. You're not on my paper, so no. Yeah, Paul. How you doing?
Good. I'm going to give a brief overall, and then I'll let Amy get into the details of how we arrived at what we did. But if you look at this first page, basically we boiled down to Amy and her team negotiated with a lot of different reinsurance carriers, and so we narrowed it down to 4 options, but 2 actual reinsurance companies. Staying with Berkshire or going to ProSelect. So that's, again, looking at a piece of paper that Amy and her team spent a lot of hours talking to different companies, different reinsurance companies. The thing that we're trying to get approval today for is the reinsurance. The reinsurance, you have 2 insurance policies. One is per person, and we've talked about that. And we've got options here of an $85,000 that you currently have per person. We're bumping it to $95,000 per person. So that's your first layer of insurance, that no one person can cost you any more than that deductible. And it has happened before where we lock in and then somebody contracts a condition that may be $400,000. Well, you're locked in at 85 only, and it's the reinsurance company that has to pay the difference. Okay? The other insurance purchase is, look down there at that maximum out of pocket. COVID or something worse, that is the maximum that the county would ever have to pay out in 1 year for insurance, medical insurance cost. Okay, so that's your 2 insurance premiums that we're asking to lock in today. If we don't lock it in today, and I believe Amy can speak more about that, is that these premiums expire Friday. So they could change what they're offering in both premium and lasers. If you look at again on the first page under lasers, we have an $85,000 deductible, except for certain people have certain lasers, which means the county is responsible for that additional amount. Because the insurance company knows there's some conditions out there that's gonna go over the 85. We're like, well, we're not gonna take that on. Here's for this particular person an additional amount that the county has to take on, then to offer a premium. That makes sense what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
thank you.
Okay. So really, and I'll let Amy get into the details, but so really you're at the fixed cost, that we know is the premium. I mean, we know that's gonna be a cost. Then you have the max amount of pocket, so somewhere in between there is your medical responsibilities. Amy and her team has gone through and said, here's what we expect to happen. And that's at the very bottom, that 3.9 is including the fixed cost. So they're saying the county may incur, they're anticipating somewhere in the neighborhood of, I mean, it's a pretty big number, 2.9 million in medical costs alone is what they're projecting. Again, that could be projected come in lower, or it could go higher. So we're today going to ask for an approval to lock in, to go at the very top, one of these insurance companies, either Berkshire or ProSelect, with either an 85 or 95 deductible. But that's all we're here to ask for. We're not here to talk about employee benefits or contributions or any of that.
And can we raise that stop loss even more from 95?
Yeah, you could. But we were just trying to take a step up from the 85 to 95, but you can go, yeah, as high as you want.
We're self-insured basically-ish on the health side, right? So, so we inquire all this up to that. That's why we have the stop losses for that, yeah.
That's exactly right. You are self-insuring everybody's medical up to that stop loss.
Yeah, I mean, with this thing resetting 8/1, I think is the renewal year. And I think 12 companies declined to quote it. The only risk we would take at this point is if we did go back out, open it back up, increase our deductibles, spend another 2 to 4 weeks, and then we would have time to get it renewed. But then, if the people who bid on this then change their quote, these premiums could go, this fixed cost will change, obviously, if we raise our deductible. But maybe a 2027 thing you want to look at when you have more time. I just hate to get us in a corner and then second meeting.
I know sometimes your hands are tied, Paul, too, but whenever stuff like this changes, so we can kind of, a little quicker, let us know a little quicker if it's possible.
And I
But you
agree,
usually
but yeah, like you said, Mike, our hands are a little bit tied in that insurance companies, they want to see the medical results
Yeah.
to make their determination on if they want any lasers out there, if they want to increase their risk of premium, so they kind of wait to see what the medical results are to offer us a renewal. But I'll let Amy give a little more details on that.
Well, I mean, I think based off what they presented so far, with the amount of companies that they've reached out to, the amount of companies that have declined, raising the deductible, to CC's point, I think makes a lot of sense. And I mean, I think with the information we have right now, I mean, I would think we would want to do with the Berkshire 95,000 deductible, and just let's go ahead and get that locked in.
Okay.
And then next plan year, I'm not going to be here, but what's
Look at another
115,
10.
125? What do those look like? As far as today and the amount of work, I'd recommend we go ahead and get this approved. And
Can we have that on your guys' radar for next year?
Absolutely, yeah, and I will say, benchmarking states that you guys are in a good spot right now with that, 95,000, but certainly we can look at higher than that next year as well.
Yeah, looking at 10, 20,000 more,
Yeah.
just to look at, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
See if it saves us 10 grand a year,
Yeah.
to raise it that 10, 20 grand, right? That might
Yeah,
make
and
sense.
sometimes it's nice to have that increase, in your back pocket as well if you're trying to buy down the renewal a little bit, right? Because it's a really tough market right now. We're seeing double-digit increases across the country, some even higher here in the state of Indiana.
That still catch up from COVID stuff, or what is that?
A little bit. The reinsurance companies are taking higher scrutiny on the high-cost claimants, so especially with the cancer claimants and gene therapy drugs that are out there now that cost millions of dollars. Now, we do have some protections in the place to protect the plan against that.
Yeah,
And Buffett owns Berkshire, right?
What's that?
Buffett owns Berkshire?
I think he
Yes.
still does,
It's
yeah.
kind of hurting
Correct.
for cash, I
Yes.
hear.
Yeah.
But anyway, for another
He did
conversation.
hire a CEO though,
But,
but yeah.
yeah,
I'll entertain a motion to approve Berkshire Hathaway at the $95,000 deductible.
So moved.
May I present one alternative option that I'd like to discuss too?
please.
So if you look at page 6, sorry to take us
No,
back.
that's
real
fine.
quick.
No, that's-
So on page 6, like Nathan said, I know you guys have seen this, we went out to a lot of carriers, a lot of them declined, and that's just basically stating the market sees that they would be uncompetitive. So we have some alternative carriers quote, but they were 40-50% over your current rates, so we didn't even show them on the spreadsheet. The one other option that I wanted to talk through, which I know we've talked about this in the past, is if you look in that second sub-bullet, consider purchasing a no new laser with a 50% rate cap option. So what this means is right now, in your policy, lasers can be added at the renewal. So like Paul said, right now with the Berkshire, like if we look at option 2 on page 7, they're putting a $475,000 laser on someone. And that means that instead of you paying only up to $85,000 or $95,000 on that person, you're gonna pay all of the costs up until $475,000. So that's the one laser that they're putting on the policy. If we purchase
And
this
they get to
additional.
pick who they do that to, or what?
No, it's all based off the claim history.
It's
of
the
that
claims,
member.
yeah,
So
but
if
they
they-
are
okay.
underwriting that, so they are looking at the claims, and there's different underwriting philosophies. So Berkshire only is putting a laser on one person, where ProSelect, Stop Loss Management Partners, they're putting 3 potential lasers on there. So they just underwrite differently, they look at risk differently. But this potential option, it costs $50,000, so it's extra insurance, and the reason for that is because what this would do is if you renew with Berkshire again next year, what would happen is they would not be able to place any new lasers on any other claimants. They could maintain a laser on this one person at $475,000, but they would not be allowed to put any additional lasers on. Now, with that, that means that they're taking on more risk. So what they put in the policy too is that they can increase your premiums by up to 50%, but you won't get more than a 50% increase.
450,000.
Yeah.
So it costs $50,000 to, purchase this extra insurance. I will say, given the tough market, it's been the toughest it's been in over 20 years. A lot of our clients are looking to purchase this feature, but it's completely up to you. It's do you want to take on some risk and still potentially allow additional lasers at next year's renewal, or do we want to potentially hedge our bets and think, gosh, what if there's more lasers next year?
I mean, the previous 10 years, we've averaged probably $200,000 a year in lasers on a 10-year average. Some years have been 0, so I personally wouldn't have any interest in spending an additional $50,000, and then next year you can look at buying down that premium by increasing your deductible. But it's a nice feature to have, but the fact that they can increase your premium $450,000 is,
They're making it up somewhere.
yeah,
Well,
there's,
yeah, but without this feature, they could increase it by 70%, right? So this at least caps what that increase could be.
yeah, they could. It's never happened in our history.
Correct,
So,
yeah, it's just, a tough market. Want to do at least present it. If you don't
Yeah,
want to
sure,
purchase
yeah.
it, that's fine.
No,
All
want to
of
know
our
all the
options.
options, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So I'll make that motion to accept Berkshire Hathaway with the 95,000 deductible.
Motion by Commissioner Cook. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Gabhart. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Next, we got Debbie with the Visitors Bureau. Good morning, Debbie.
Thanks, Amy.
Yeah,
Just don't cost us that much money.
I'm not gonna ask you for a dime, so I'll be quick and, I just put a little slideshow together for you guys, kind of show you some of the things that I've been working on, this year. We kind of hit the ground running, starting off with that visitor's guide that Nathan was talking about earlier. That was a project that Amber had started and got wrapped up. I got in on the tail end of it. I think I've hand-delivered roughly 3,000 or more of them. We've got nice little displays in a lot of the downtown areas now. A lot of the innkeepers have them. Gostoff has them all out there, the Amish Country Corner, so mailing them out to other counties, getting them out in front of people. I did about 116 Facebook posts in my first 30 days, trying to get everything from that visitor's guide like out in front of people. So Clint was like, will you put your phone down? So we've gained about, as of this weekend, that number actually went up. We gained about 100 followers just in this weekend. The bagpipes, everybody went crazy with bagpipes. So we've upped it about 1,500 followers since probably February. I've got 15 new event producers that are putting their stuff on that calendar that we've paired up with Locable that's tied to our website. That also feeds the Drive Around Town with Dwayne. He talks about it 3 times a day on the radio. Top TikTok post was Mason's Root Beer Stand turning 75 at 27,000 views. And I think Livery Lofts and the video I made for that came in at a tight second. So we're pairing with 4 radio stations right now. I'm working on a 5th out of French Lick. Got a 20-minute spot with Gary Hackney over in Vincent's. It's nice because you can kind of talk slower, a little bit less frazzled, you know, like trying to just get all the information out there. So between The Bullet, WMW, WRZR, and WAOV, we've got 4 partnerships now hitting different airwaves and trying to hit like some different, you know, people. Averaging about 280,000 views a month on Facebook. Last year, the Innkeepers was up about 75,000, as reported by Southern Indiana Business Report and IDDC. They will not compile their numbers from 2025. They won't release those until like the end of 26 because they do them for all 92 counties, and they won't release like one until they have all of them. So we're anxiously waiting to see that because last year we started the billboards and we started some different campaigns. So kind of intrigued, you know, to see what those numbers are. Innkeepers are turning in about 82 to 100% occupancy for the most part. Data is showing some leakage to Du Bois and Knox County. With the study we did before with the convention center, they're saying we could probably take on another 150 beds and easily fill them. So our biggest goal is to fill them on the weekends because we fill them during the week, great. So right now I've been talking to some people about packaging up like itineraries and things for the website. I started working on that, and then all the events started blowing up. So sometimes the things I want to get out there don't get to get out there because we're just, you know, heavy laden with activity. So that's great. Good problems to have. I said I don't ever lack content. So back to the visitor's guide again on that page. 2025, we were working hard on just presence and visibility. As I came into it, one of the biggest things I heard was people saying, well, I didn't know about that until after the fact, or I didn't know, you know. So just trying to really, you know, saturate the market, get out there in different ways in front of people, a lot of networking. I got a comment this past weekend from one of the gentlemen that runs the Wrights House down in Evansville, and he's like, I love your page, it's so community-centered, and he's like, you guys like bring everybody into the conversation. And he's like, I just love that, you know. So he's like, small town feel, you know, doing great. So I thought that was a pretty big compliment, because we're Davies, you know. Next page is some of the partnerships we have with the magazine. So coming right into it again, I got to design a lot of the magazine layouts and stuff. We featured McCracken's Curve Distillery, which is going to be opening soon. In one of them, the Veal Creek Theater and the 1776 play. Just, you know, all kinds of different little features. The Food Alliance with Travel Indiana. We pick restaurants and hotspots, and they do little food trails and stuff. So every year we kind of change it up. So this year, I haven't announced yet who all they're going to be, but you will see soon. And then projects, we kind of hunt the bison. We've been dragging Davey around the county. He's getting ready to move again on Wednesday. He's not as heavy as he looks. He's fiberglass, but we did put an air tag on him just in case he's not under camera all the time. He would be interesting to try to move without help, but but he was a hit out at Corning this weekend, so he'll be moving on for some other things. On the next slide, Keith had a new event this year with One Time Hunt Club, and we've tried to really, like, because of America's 250, bring the veterans into the scope of things. the event they had this year with the Sportsman's Show, we had 950 attendees, first time, and Bar Reeve was out of town because the game was going on up north. So that was with, you know, a fourth of the county gone. We did see the TOC flyers worked really well. We send those out to 90,000 households, Davies and all the surrounding counties. So one of the questions I ask first thing, like when people approach me at my table, is, did you get this? Did you see it in the mail? And they're like, oh yeah, yeah. So, you know, Mike was commenting about how well those work. So they have all of our events on that back side of it. It just went out again. But yeah, we've got a quilt auction going, or actually, a raffle, for American 250. It's being displayed at Top Notch, and then American Legion's gonna be selling tickets, and then that money's going back to the veterans doing the mural. So then maybe he can do more murals and stuff. So trying to, like, you know, full circle some of this stuff and just community engagement. Brandy and I work really well with Discover Downtown. Having us in offices right next to each other is very helpful. Being in partnership with EDC has been great. It presents a lot of opportunity and people coming through. And I told Joni when I first started, I said, you're gonna see a lot more people in here than you're used to, because I am very networky. And she's like, yeah, I have. So that's been great. Next slide is the Amish tours. I started to spin that up a little bit. I reached out to Joanna. She does the bulk of the Amish tours right now. I've been trying to get with Ephraim. He has the round barn out there. He's kind of backed off of it, kind of trying to decide what he wants to do. So we're working on some of that. But she did get new flyers, and you guys have one in your bag. So we're getting those out in front of people and stuff as well. Sweet Treat Trail, that was kind of it's a 15 eatery passport, sweet treats through the summer, giving away some prizes and things. We've had a lot of, you know, the radio stations and the theater give us prizes to give away, and, you know, help get people some fun stuff to do this summer. And if they're eating, you know, at Zach's and Scoops and all those places, it's just gonna reward them anyway.
Mike's just upset 'cause he didn't bring samples.
Yeah, you should've brought samples
Yeah.
to us.
They even have, I learned they have pup cups out at Campton's too through this process, so pretty fun. Hot Air Balloon Fest is coming up at West Boggs. I spoke to Vanessa yesterday about that. She's getting ready to do some community engagement things where they're gonna hide a big duck around, and winner gets some prizes and some things like that. So fun things happening there at Boggs. You're booked up, right, Nathan? Totally booked out for that. So anybody looking for a room, they're gonna have to push to the innkeepers to stay. So we're expecting, I think, 20,000 probably for that, just for that event. So Car Show went great Saturday. They had the fishing derby out there. They've got a ton of programming, so looking forward to that one. And the page you guys wanna see is McCracken's Curve Distillery. I've been out kinda doing some photography for them, working with them a little bit and helping them get some traction. I think it's gonna be a really neat destination for us. Kind of help create that ambiance of staying the night and getting some other things to do. And I'm working on a project of my own, so you'll hear about that later, but so I'm sure you have. But yeah, the back page is just one of the things I really wanted to do back in May, but there was just too much going on. So we're gonna be doing it in August. We're kind of gonna do a tourism summit. So when I go to the tourist convention and I come back, all this information I want to share with all my event hosts. And I don't think that I know of that all of our event hosts have ever been in the same room together. So when we did our check presentation and we gave out our grant money, we did it all at once, and they all got to be together, and it was so neat to see them like network and chatter. So we're gonna bring them all together and kind of have Crystal Painter come and talk about Discover Southern Indiana and what they do. So all of these partnerships and memberships that we have, we partner with them, and then they might have like 40,000 newsletter list, or they might have 100,000 people on their Facebook page. So things that we do, they pick up and then they distribute it as well. So we're gonna kind of talk about like the machine of that and how that works. And then Locable's gonna do a Zoom and talk about the calendar and some of the things that we're not using yet, because it was first year last year. We're kind of trying to wake some of that up. You can actually do newsletters from Locable, and anybody that puts their stuff on there can take advantage of that. So we're gonna kind of, get that information in front of people. And then we're gonna talk about some of the topics like Facebook and your website, having a good landing page, and just, I can promote it, but then if I push them back to your page and there's nothing on your page, then that's not helpful. So just, kind of working through some of those little bugs with people and stuff. So that's what I've been up to. We've had an amazing outpouring, and I think when I pulled that video back up, that promo video from, I think it was like 2020, it went nuts. People were like, I've never seen this before, and this was awesome. And I think you nailed it, Nathan, in that video when you talk about it's all about the people. I think they are our biggest asset here, and the hospitality that we show others is great. I'm looking at pulling some things together. Marilyn and I have been working on the budget. I don't know that we're gonna re-up with Placer. I found another company that can provide that same information, but they do digital advertising and stuff. So if we partner with them for the digital side, they can do like Netflix, Hulu, you know, YouTube, Facebook, all that kind of stuff, and they can actually like geofence and kind of track it a little better. So for what we use it for, we can still get that information, but not at that high cost, and then I can route that money elsewhere. So that's it.
Yeah. I think the visibility is gone way up, and you can tell on that, obviously getting those and then hand taking those magazines to people, all the above. Social media has gone up as well. I got just two clarifying. So you said hotels are reporting like 85 to 100%.
The Green Gables is reporting like 100%. Holiday Inn and them are about 80, 82.
Is that for how long?
For the month. Like
Oh,
they
for
do
this
that
month?
little thing that they had changed when they turned in their monthly. That's what it is like for the month. So the
And
past
that's
couple
every
months,
day, like Green Gables, 100%, that's every day?
it probably depends a little bit
Yeah.
on.
That's
you
not
know,
100%.
If
Yeah, that's
Dinky's,
what-
yeah, I mean, if they have somebody staying out there that's working or just trying to find a
Sure.
house, you know,
Sure, sure.
there's variables, but, excuse me, Theroffs and those, they're probably more like 50%, given certain times of the year.
Yeah, I just heard, you said, oh, so you said some are reporting.
reporting,
Gotcha,
yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
And then was it 75K more or 175K more?
75 up from
Gotcha,
last year.
which is great.
Yeah,
Is
so
that
we'll
because
kinda-
of price increases or because of people increases?
I would say that's probably because of people increases. I mean, because that's
Okay.
straight up innkeepers' money.
Right, but you can get that with price as well, because they do a percentage off of their price. So that's the only thing I would look
I
into.
haven't seen much as far as, you know, upticks in it. I mean, we're still hitting
Okay.
about 110, 120 a night, I think,
Right.
on a normal day.
Okay. Yeah, that would be the only thing, because if it's people increases, that's fantastic, right? Like, that's what we want, right? Yes, we also want more income, of course,
Yeah.
but,
One of the
People
things I've been
increase.
trying to do
Great.
too, but like when we have the robotics club, we have like semi-state, stuff like that.
Absolutely.
I got the food vendor list from Jeff. So we've been kicking that out to all the food vendors and saying, hey, there's gonna be a crowd in town, make sure you're
Yeah.
prepared. And then I create a thing with the QR code so then they can get it in front of the people in the auditorium and
yeah.
they can click on that, takes them right to our website and shows where they can go to find food while they're in
hopefully
town.
keeping them open a little later on things, stuff like
Yeah.
that, because they're
And extra
prepared for it.
staffing and,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, just
yeah.
making sure they've got food and
No,
stuff,
it's
so.
fantastic, yeah.
Debbie, appreciate the update. I think we all know you're in it 100%.
Yeah.
And great that the county's got, I know this past weekend, there was stuff going on every
Everywhere.
day. There was-
I had a
there
hard
was
time getting out of
lot.
bed Monday morning. It was
Yeah,
a
I
little, it was a
bet.
little rough.
Yeah, you were, I'm sure, running around everywhere. But,
It was a little rough. But yeah, there's some other information in the back there for you guys to flip through if you have any questions. Feel
thanks,
free to
Grant.
reach out. But the tourism ordinance issue thing, I think Grant answered that for me already. It's already covered because it's
Yep.
absorbed into that, so,
yeah, it's what I
Be
talked
good.
to him. He said he didn't see any changes need to be in that, done in
yeah,
there, so.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
certainly,
working
if
on it.
if there are things in the future, like,
Yeah, I mean, I'll always bring
Want it
them
to
up
be-
just
yeah.
to make sure.
no
that-
problem.
Keep it on your radar.
Great, thank you.
All right,
All right,
thanks, Debbie.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, great job.
Next, we got Nathan with West Boggs. Good morning, Nathan.
I did not know we could do PowerPoints, so I brought some.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks. I'll hand it to him, yeah. Good picture.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. I want to preface by commending Debbie as well. Her efforts really help the park. Not only that Placer AI we just discussed are huge for these kind of grants. So people are highly impressed with the amount of visitors we get for the park as well as the demographics and, you know, the doubling of both counties' populations combined coming through the gate is a huge benefit for me as I'm applying for grants. So appreciate your time this morning. I got a few things to go over with you. As I said, I didn't know we could do a PowerPoint. Maybe I'll do that next time. But
Yeah, right.
I got you guys some nice packets. This goes over the Land Water Conservation Fund grant that we're applying for. This is not a grant that we can apply for every year. So this is a federal grant. The Land Water Conservation Fund helped make the park. I believe that was in 1968 to 1972. They helped construct West Boggs, and a lot of the funding that initially built all the buildings, office, bathrooms, and all that was from the Land Water Conservation Fund. Last year, this was not even available. Sounds like it came from the governor's office. This wasn't even available to parks like ours. There was no indication of when it might open again, so that was kind of concerning. This is a pretty important deal for us. You can't apply for this every year, nor will they award every year. There's kind of some unwritten rules that I've spoke with them about. It's not going to happen every year. So it's very important to get as efficient as we can and save money for stuff like this when these opportunities arise. So I think we're pretty dialed in to do this year. I know that I've spoke with you guys about the aging infrastructure, buildings, and all that in the park. That's both, unfortunately, above and below ground. Like just yesterday, we were dealing with large water and sewage leaks and stuff like that. So a lot of these restrooms are from 1972, and the plumbing's terrible. It costs a lot of inefficiencies and headaches and night calls, and we get literally thousands of complaints about these. So you can only clean them so much, but they do need replaced, and we need more showers and more facilities to really serve the close to 500,000 people that we get a year. So this is a 50-50 grant match. The application will be due August 1st, but we need to have it in a little bit before then, so our target's July 15th. Again, this is 50-50, so we come up with the match. We have to come up with basically a letter indicating on a municipal letterhead or local fiscal letter certifying the amount, timing, and source of the matching funds. So for West Boggs, we have voted to put $355,000 out of our general fund, and that would encompass 2 years. So how this works is we would do one project, let's say a bathroom, get receipts, send those into the DNR, and then get those reimbursed. We don't have to commit to all this money at one time. So
How
this-
long do you have to use
Years.
it? Just 2 years total for the whole
Correct.
grant? Gotcha.
Yep.
Gotcha.
I think we can accomplish that pretty well. I'm trying to really not do a lot through our staff. Our maintenance team is incredible. I mean, they're plumbers, electricians, like we do all kinds of stuff. It's not just general maintenance. They can do a lot of this, but it's kind of more difficult to do it through the park, calculate all that, you know, figure out how much we use in fuel, our equipment and all that. So a lot of this is getting bidded out to contractors. And my guys, I mean, you could turn off the park for 10 years and we'd still have stuff to do. So it's not really an issue for them not to do this. I've been out fundraising the past few weeks, which has gone shockingly well. We're seeing a lot of community support for this grant. So I've kind of pitched this similar packet to them. We're looking at a new office building. You guys, I think you know, I've given some pictures. The office has been leaking for many years. It's not okay. We moved out of there. We're in a shelter. So the shelter's quite nice. It'll turn into a cabin later, which will get some revenue, you know, and taxes and all that, but it's not really to code. We need to move. I don't have an office, but it is unacceptable to be where we were. It's leaking. So hopefully, you know, this will help construct that. We do have 2 plans you can see in the back of the paperwork here as we move forward. This one's from Graber Post. I think it's quite likely that we will go with the Graber Post design. I also have one from DC Metal. It's quite possible that entities will contribute materials or time or something like that too, and then that is also calculated as a match. So I noted on that first page there in the overview just kind of what West Boggs is, how much it contributes to the local economy. It said 18 million positive revenue in the last master plan that was done back in 2020 from the DNR. So it's a huge tourist draw, a huge revenue draw to the county. We just need some new buildings, and it's really tough for the park to foot all those bills, especially at one time. I do think I can run on our own, but really not with some of these larger things with some help. So I did, like I said, some fundraising. $355,000 of match are going to come from the park funds with your guys' blessing. I'm applying for $200,000 through the Martin County Community Foundation, which is another grant that they have over there on Jen's desk. That was an amazing request from them. I kind of talked with some representatives, and that was suggested. I went to the RDC over in Martin County. I was expecting a little bit less. However, they came back with a number, and they said, got some paperwork here for you, that they would contribute $100,000 to the grant match, or up to $200,000 if you guys match that.
We've got it.
Yeah, thank you.
So that was incredible. I think that's a real opportunity for a lot of groups that come together and really change the park at one time. Let's see. So I've got the office plans there. The next page is the peninsula where the trailers are. I just did this on AI.
How much was Hoosier Uplands?
Hoosier Uplands is 10,000. Yep. So let me flip back here. As it
Martin
sits-
County officials, as far as the commissioners, anything?
I'm sorry.
Martin County, like commissioners or anything?
They
I know the
said
RDC.
that the RDC was really their pool of money, and
That's where they
I
took
was
it.
directed to go to that, so
Gotcha.
I'm sure that would be the total. However, Martin County Community Foundation has been a huge help to the
Yeah,
park,
yeah,
and
that's a
I
big,
think,
that's a big deal.
you know, I also reached out to our community foundation, which is the Davies side. It's actually
Mm-hmm.
called Our Community Foundation. Gave a presentation to them, a whole park tour. They were really impressed with all the upgrades. A lot of them hadn't seen it for a few years, so they're excited too. I've not heard back from them just yet. That was just a
Yeah.
few days ago.
What about the Davis County Community Foundation? So you got
That
our,
is,
and
that
you
is
got,
the R.
no, there's two different ones, so,
Okay.
yeah, so you got the Davis County, you got the our, so you might look into that
Okay.
one as well.
Is that the pool of 6 or 7 counties? I talked to them about that, so I was
Yeah.
planning on reaching out to them.
Yeah,
And then, you know, some other local businesses and so forth. The other part of the grant here, I've got a picture of the peninsula. You can see here, that's where the trailers are. Those are currently for sale. The tennis court has been dilapidated for a very long time. I actually play it, but no one else does. It's rough, so we're not losing a lot there. My initial goal was to make this kind of a wedding center, event area. However, unfortunately, the DNR doesn't like that. That's not really what they're after. They're more for recreation. So this grant won't afford any 4-walled buildings unless it's a support structure such as an office. They really don't award many grants like that. I just show that our buildings are leaking. They're from 72. It's necessary for the park to operate. But obviously, they wanted more like pickleball courts and the other stuff that are on here. They wanted us to actually apply for that in addition to the buildings. So we're thinking an office, 3 bathrooms, some shade sails, which we did receive another grant for, possibly a new dock. This new campground loop was about 17 sites and pickleball. This should have a pretty good ROI. I want to make this a really nice campground. As you see here, these are a lot of waterfront sites. If you look at the topography, it can't be as efficient as it normally would be if I just like went around. There's some hills and stuff there, some low areas. We can't do anything in a floodplain. I want these sites to be more spaced out, more landscaping, and each person gets a dock. So I think that'll be a huge draw.
I guess those will be premium priced, I guess,
Correct.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I haven't priced them out just yet.
Yeah.
Likely going to be called the Groundhog Loop. We have tons of groundhogs, so that's probably what we'll do, go along with the animal names. I think this will work really well. Our waterfront sites are almost always sold out. So we sell out almost every weekend in the summer, period, but definitely not the sites away from the water. They don't sell out on like a Monday, Tuesday. The sites on the water do.
Yep.
So I think this will be huge. This isn't used at all. Like, I put a disc golf course in here, but this is, in my opinion, the best place in the whole park, and it's just, there's nothing there. So that'll be a good addition there. In addition to that, there's a peninsula that juts off. It's more of a jetty. That's what this picture is. So the top picture is my ChatGPT rendering. The bottom was an actual picture.
Well done.
Yeah, pretty close to this, actually. You can see some pole holders down the left, maybe some solar lights. I might put a flag up there. There's always like 15 people squabbling over these riprap that are about this big. People are falling over. They're lined up all along this peninsula. So although this floods, I think it'd be a really nice walkway. We can just pave it. It can go underwater sometimes, but it'll be a really good fishing area for people too. So we were planning on adding that. Let's see. So, you know, the main thing, I guess, would be for you guys to approve this grant, that we can apply for it. In addition to that, I'm requesting a match from you all, if possible.
Okay. No, I mean, it's a good project. I mean, obviously, you've done a great job over there, Nathan, and then between like our innkeeper's tax and our edit, I mean, I think those would be the two main sources and as far as funding. So yeah, let us sync up and let us ask some questions, and we'll get with the council and kind of see what their thoughts are. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, yeah, we'll definitely will participate in some of that.
I'm kind of the same way.
Thank you.
Trying to get, how much more time, I mean, how long do we have for you gotta have this in?
I mean, July 15th would be the absolute latest, but it's difficult for me to navigate what we're doing, I guess, if I don't know the amounts. So honestly, I was shocked to see the RDC donate up to $200,000, so
You wanna give
I
him
didn't
a
anticipate
time?
needing
And
that
when-
many
when could
quotes.
we-
Oh, yeah, but by our first meeting in July.
Okay.
I mean, as far as the grant goes, I mean, with moving forward with the grant, there's no issues there. But as far as the matching portion of it, obviously, we gotta get some time to
How
talk to.
much?
Yeah, and the commitment letter can go by then. The only hiccup there is the sooner I get it, the more accurately I can do quotes for the amount,
Yeah.
that we're gonna need. So right now, I'm gonna shoot for 2 million. It's
No, sounds
possible
great,
to
yeah.
get that.
We need a motion to go ahead to move forward with the, yeah, I'll entertain a motion to, for him to have the grant, to fill out the grant application, move forward with the grant. Motion by Commissioner Cook, do I have a second?
Second.
By Commissioner Gabhart. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Something to note on this too, we're not gonna collect all this money. I'm gonna wait until we get awarded or not awarded.
Right,
The
right.
whole timeline's on there as well, and we'll see what happens then.
We
I think
can
it's.
also do
fairly
it
likely.
over a 2-year period.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep, correct. Yeah, I don't know that we can handle all that at one time.
right.
All right, excellent.
Next is a policy change. You guys may remember, we did a policy change a very long time ago through West Boggs.
You're sorry.
This is very similar, however, Jen hired a consultant, Addie Roker, she's a HR consultant, and kind of went over this policy, checking on a few things. There's a few changes on here, but not much. So this is essentially the same thing, maybe a little bit more employee-friendly, but essentially this is allowing our park staff to save and bank hours during the summer months. If they're working over 86 hours per pay period, they are able to accrue a maximum of 80 hours of seasonal benefit time. This shall be used during the months of and between November and March. The accrual balance shall be reset to 0 on April 1st of each calendar year. Eligible staff shall not be compensated for any unused seasonal benefit time. Upon termination of employment, resignation, or retirement, seasonal benefit time shall not be paid out. You guys have any questions on this?
Yeah, it's just banking extra time, and then you have a specific time frame that they can use it, because it's the slower months, and they can basically take comp time and take days off or whatever through
Yeah,
that.
and it's no extra vacation whatsoever.
Right.
It's like if someone's working 60 hours for a 4th of July week, they get to save a little of that to use in the winter.
Yeah,
Then they
no
get-
extra cost.
They
yeah.
get overtime after 80?
Our salary don't get any overtime.
And can they turn that in if they don't use it for extra pay?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Per FSLA laws, unless they are an exempt employee, they are to be paid out, they are all hourly employees. And with our conversations with Addie Roker at Wagner Urban and Shealy, she has helped get Nathan with their team new job descriptions, and has did the classification and verified that Nathan is the only exempt employee out there, and that stands. So everyone else is hourly employees.
So Nathan works 90 hours and gets no benefit.
Salary.
That's how it works.
What that works.
Voice is.
Yeah, that's right, that's right.
But if you guys allow me
Or they
to,
work 60.
Yeah, yeah,
if we have enough management, it should be,
yeah,
that's what I'm striving for right
right,
now.
right. Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the ordinance change.
Thank you.
But this came from Addie, yeah,
Yes.
to modify this. And it's, so just to be clear, there's certain times where you need people to work long hours. I mean, just the nature of the beast, but eligible staff won't go over 80 hours of seasonal benefit time. So
That's all you can
everybody
bank.
but you, right?
Yeah, so Addie had actually said that I could save 160, and I told my board, hey, that's great, you don't want me gone that long. Like, you just don't. So, as
Yeah.
cool as that sounds, that's just not really a thing. I can't just disappear for 2 months and have everything go
Does this
okay.
need done today, or is it possible that we can communicate with Jen and just make sure
That's
that
fine.
everybody's on the same page?
No
Is
big
that
deal.
okay?
Yeah, that's fine. I don't really care until November, to tell tell you the
Okay,
truth.
that'd be great.
I mean, it'd be cool to let my staff know, because it allows us to know how much we're gonna work, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of keeps you motivated,
Sure.
you know, in the summer, so the sooner the better, but no real thing there. I think this is for the council. My board wanted me to talk to you guys about me getting paid out for 2 weeks. So that's a council thing, right? Because this was taken away from me.
Typically, all fiscal things
That's council.
go to
Okay.
the council,
Perfect.
but there obviously there's at times
Yeah.
overlap, so
Okay, just making sure.
they're
I'll be there.
tomorrow, and
I'll be there tomorrow. So the next thing, thank you for doing that, is the longevity policy. I don't really have a copy of this. This was long before I was here. Actually, I think it was before Debbie was there, so that's 20-some years ago, my office manager. In lieu of retirement, the park staff gets 7% of their salary. So that is only given if you make it through the whole year. It's called longevity. So you could have someone work for 30 years and then retire in November. They don't get that money because they retired before December. Likewise, if you let someone go, they quit, anything like that, you're not getting it. I know over the years it's caused some issues where people are just waiting to get that bonus, right? So they kind of halfway their job toward the end, or want to get fired, want to get retirement. There's all kinds of games that have been played. In addition to that, in my mind, in the Parks Board, we kind of thought that those folks earn that money. This is in lieu of retirement. So typically when you, any reason, leave an employer, you don't get that year's retirement taken back. So some time ago, the Park Board talked about this, and we had said that, okay, you get that 7% prorated no matter what, because it is retirement as part of your pay. Conversation with Jen noted that that was not a Park Board policy to do, that has to go through you guys. So I'm hoping to get that changed. So nothing more, nothing less, it's just if you, let's say again, retire in November, you will get that.
How's the language gonna work though for someone who hasn't been on a year?
It's prorated in my opinion. Like that would be my opinion of it.
Don't we just treat them the same as all Davies County employees? Or how does Davies, I mean, we want one way of doing it.
We have a longevity policy.
Yeah.
Boggs has been kind of a little bit different because they don't have they're not part of the retirement, per se. They don't have perf out there for the employees, and so things have kind of been, I think,
So their money's
done differently, and things have been adjusted for salaries in that aspect. But as things have been being brought to attention and questioned, this is where we need some clarity.
Yeah, because I just need, we need to take this offline, because I mean, I just don't want two sets of standards.
Could you send us the standards that you have right now? And then in an email also what you're wanting to change? So we can see that and be able to discuss it better.
Yeah.
Are there any other entities, just out of curiosity, that do this? I thought it was just us.
To do what?
Like have this particular
I
policy?
think it is, but also it's probably because of the creation of the park being a joint county park, which that doesn't really exist
No, it's quite rare.
anywhere.
Okay. You guys understand kind of what I'm?
Yeah,
Okay.
I understand,
Yeah.
and I understand that it needs to probably look different.
Yeah.
We just want to make sure that,
Yeah, you
that
have
we're not
time
doing it,
about it.
you know, special over here, or this not, you know, that type of stuff.
Totally understand. Okay, and I think the last thing, I'm going before the council tomorrow, talking about budgeting and kind of making some changes, things like that. I think I told you guys too, we really need a new office manager, an additional office manager for right now. We have been using basically like Excel spreadsheets that were created by our current office manager for a very long time. It's causing issues, it's inefficient. We have to move offices twice just in 1 year. They're not able to get the current job done in the time frame that they have now. This whole situation with Addie showed that we owe her a lot of overtime. There's really no way to move forward into where we need to be with QuickBooks or something, get the job done, move offices, and all this other stuff without an extra person. I've explained to the council, I don't know that a third office manager will be necessary long-term. Short-term, it actually is until our current office manager retires. So she has kind of expressed that in numerous times. I don't know the exact date, but it's coming. It's going to take a little while for that person to learn her job. And I think that's imperative. So I've kind of gone over that with the council, gone over to the park board. We're hoping to pay $58,000, advertise that immediately and get that going. There's a lot of inefficiency, loss, a lot of reasons why we need this. It's been needed for a very long time.
So what are you asking from us?
I'm asking to create an additional office position at $58,000 effective now.
Yeah.
Those funds come
58, well, just 58 plus 24,000.
for benefits, yeah.
So, I mean, obviously I can't tell you what we need, what you need and what you don't need. I mean, the comment that you said this has been needed for a long time, I mean, it's the first I've heard of it.
Mhm.
So, that, I guess, ask us at 10:05 for a decision for tomorrow's council meeting. I'm not ready.
How would we, not until we get a little bit more, you know, look into it a little bit more and.
A little bit more details
Little more
on it.
details.
Yeah, you're doing an incredible job over there.
Absolutely.
But I know it's, these part-time positions and eliminating them down the road is,
Hard to do.
I
Full-time,
haven't
right?
seen it in 12 years.
Yeah.
Even from the commissioner's standpoint, we haven't done that. Hard to do.
I think what he was saying is that there's a lady retiring at some point, we don't know the point. There needs to be training, so you're not gonna have 3 forever, because when that lady retires, you're not looking to replace because you have that, that's what you were saying, right?
Now, as the park grows, who knows what we need? I think it's certainly wrong in the park lens to look at higher labor as lower revenue. That's not how it works. I mean, I'm able to generate far more than you pay me, so are a lot of other positions, such as the activity director. That should be a very easy job to create hundreds of thousands while you're not paying that person hundreds of thousands. The ops manager is a little harder, but there are some massive inefficiencies within our organization that are long-term that I think can be fixed here with this. Yeah, I'd sent some emails out a long time ago. A lot of this is proving to the park board that we're gaining revenue, you know, making sure that we're making more money in order to hire more people, and I think we've proved that.
And not but a couple of years ago, we had to shut the lake down because of different things.
Mhm.
And that's largely been addressed. I mean, do you see
Yeah,
that?
I don't see us shutting down this year, but it's,
A lot
I
of
mean,
weather,
our
depends on
creeks
the
are
weather.
disgusting. Everything flowing in from Davies is bright green. 25 times the phosphorus I need. High E. coli, there's dirty water. So yes, we're treating the lake. If, you know, it's almost like you feel like a doctor treating someone for lung cancer that's continuing to smoke 3 packs a day and walks in with a cigarette. You know, it's difficult to do that. So I know there's some frustration with my lake treatment company as well. You know, as they're watching, I almost brought a picture, a river of neon green coming in through West Boggs Creek is difficult to handle during these rains. So I think it's an approach for lake treatment, our land, and then honestly, you know, farming practices and land management in Davies County has to get better if they want the lake to be better as well.
So the information, I guess, that we would need is time frame. Obviously put in there the expenses plus the insurance, because that's an expense as well. And then the revenue, again, just throw that in on top of that, right?
Okay.
So that we can look at all that stuff.
Yeah.
To make a decent decision. I'm sure the council would want to see that as well. And, but it's not that we don't trust that you need it, because you know what you need. And it's just figuring out how we can do it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I gave a pretty large presentation actually in front of the council a month ago about this.
You have 2 office people right now,
I have a
correct?
full-time and a part-time, or non-salary, but yes, she's
Okay.
full-time. An assistant office manager.
Yeah.
But again, really the big thing is changing the systems. I mean, there's no way that we can move into something modern.
And you can't change the systems with the people you have
No, I cannot.
because of
There's a lot of reasons. But yeah, that's not gonna be possible. I mean, even, let's just say timing. Let's just do that. If she's already working overtime, how can I, you know, add that on to someone who's gonna retire soon? Are they gonna wanna change their entire 20-year career into something different? You know, I need that other person.
Yeah.
So that would be an additional, month and a half then before that could transpire, I guess?
But our
Or what
next
would that
meeting is
be?
2 weeks. I mean, again, it's just the left hand, right hand. And sometimes people go to the council because they need the money, but if it's a new
Yeah.
FTE, it's got to be approved by the commissioners. So
Sure.
we didn't see the presentation you gave to the council, so we're making a blind decision, so I'd
Yeah.
say, send us a presentation, you send the council, I mean, we can put it on the agenda for our next meeting.
Yeah.
But, if I needed, theoretically, we can have some offline discussions, so,
Sure.
yeah.
Just so you guys are aware too, I built that into the budget though. Old park budgets, their labor was really high, for like summer labor. I've never even come close to touching that. However, I felt grossly understaffed in full-time management the entire time I've been there, and I think our time cards would show that. It causes turnover. There's a lot of reasons that I think needs to shift into more full-time. We are doing the budget to where I think I can do it at revenue of last year. And that includes everything. So all these new positions and all that, and we have quite a bit of money set aside in addition to setting aside for this grant. So yeah, whatever you guys would want to see from me, I can email
Yeah.
it over.
Definitely have that in there as well.
Yeah, I would consider that like
Yep.
it's a crucial need, for
Okay,
sure.
thanks.
Yep.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Nathan. Next, we got, Baker Tilly, takes care of our TIF services. It's just a, I guess, is it a contract, I guess is what you call it?
It is. It's just a
Contract showing that,
advising of rates and whatnot. Yeah.
looks like their rates are, I think we went through this one other than anywhere from $200 to $700 an hour. But I kind of feel like I've heard nothing but good. You kind of get what you pay for there with Baker Tilly. Guys, got anything to add?
No.
After that?
What does that say about our salaries? They get what they pay for?
They get what they pay for, that's exactly right. We're probably a little bit overpaid.
Yeah, yeah, well,
100%.
Yeah. I'll entertain a motion to, allow Baker Tilly to take care of our TIF.
so moved.
Motion by Commissioner Cook, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gavard. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next, we got the non-for-profits, excuse me, which includes 4-H, Connections, DSI, Historic Society, Ride Solutions, RSVP, and Senior and Family Services. Every year, they submit a letter. You guys have got them letters in your packets, what their wants, their needs. We kind of look at all of them do great things for the community. And then we kind of set the money out to us up for,
Yeah. Yeah, we can take those under review and we'll
Yeah.
discuss them during budget time. Yeah, it looks good.
have to have a motion on that?
Not if we're taking them.
Yeah, no, not for review. Next, we got the excise tax distributions.
Yeah, and I can speak on that. We got a memorandum from the state auditor, state comptroller's office, just, and they're asking us to just make clarification with their new legislation that has passed as of January 1 of 2027. Our excise tax that we currently distribute through our settlement processes will be determined by you guys, that you guys can choose where that money would go. Currently, through settlement, it is broken out amongst our levied funds, which is our county general reassessment, Cume Bridge, health, aviation, and Cume Cap development. So.
Excise
guys-
tax would be like what? Sales of what? Like how much do we normally get? Alcohol?
Alcohol and tobacco.
So this one here we just did for our spring settlement of this year, and we got $545,000. So,
All it's saying is that we can choose where we put it.
correct. So
What do
currently.
you need from us today?
I just need direction. It's just that we have to have it in the minutes that the commissioners direct on what to do with it, just like we've done with CVET and
But we're
FIT.
not actually saying what we're doing with it, we're just
Not
saying.
what you're doing, where
Right.
we're gonna put the money. So the majority of 433,000 of this went into county general, and then there's just, and it's broken out based off of the tax rates, currently on where, on splitting that money.
So it is where we're putting it, just not what we're doing with it.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Yes, perhaps we keep it the same as we did last year, and now that we know we have a decision, we may want to
Look at
not
this
put
ahead
it
of
in
time,
some
yeah.
of those funds, but.
Keep it where it's.
So it probably needs to be discussed with the council, just presented and discussed amongst.
Absolutely, yeah.
However you wanna do it. We just need a decision for sure,
Yeah.
how you want us to receive.
So
it.
I'll make a motion to keep it the same as what we did last year, and then revisit this next year ahead of time.
Motion by Commissioner Cook. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gabhart. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion
Sorry.
passes.
Moved on to the next topic in my head.
Next, we got boat center worker salary ordinance. Looks like it's $225 a day. Judges and clerks on election days, $200. Salaries
Yeah.
for boat center worker.
And I can speak on this just briefly. This is what the clerk has always done and has done in the past. It was brought to our attention by State Board of Accounts that the commissioners oversee these rates. And so these are the rates that has been for several years, and they have not been altered or changed. And so we just need a formal approval that you guys are aware of those.
I'll entertain a motion to keep the workers, the vote center workers, the same as always.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Cook. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gabhart. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Passes. Next, we got a request for the aerial spray for Rockport Sullivan.
I was a little confused on that one.
I was a little bit too. Jen, you kind of enlightened me a little bit on that, the spray.
Oh, so there is a letter in your packet we just received in the mail yesterday. I think it was from EMPA. They're needing to do some vegetation cleanup, and so they're gonna be using a helicopter to do that, and they just need your permission and approval for them to come into the county and do that.
To come into the county airport, is that it?
No, I believe it's by helicopter, and they use one of the great big chainsaws that hang from them,
Oh.
and they come along.
Yeah, I know
Just so that you
exactly.
guys are aware that that's going on.
But what's the aerial spray part? What's the spray? That's what it was in our thing, yeah.
I don't
Look-
think all the big saw is spray. They
Call
could
it
very well
spray?
call it a
Is
spray.
it just spray?
I'm not sure on that. Which that's nothing new. They do it pretty often with the big helicopter and the saws. When you got a power line going through the woods,
Mhm.
they go down each side of it.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
I don't remember getting something like this, but
Yeah, I don't think I'd ever,
They wanna come in with a saw and a helicopter, go for it. Yeah,
it might be something new they have to do. That's right. I don't have a problem with it. I'll
just don't get sprayed.
entertain a motion to allow the spray at the Rockport Sullivan.
so moved.
Motion by Commissioner Cook. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gabhart. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Well, I think that's it. Anybody else have anything for good of the order? We've lost a few in the last hour. so-
war of attrition, yeah.
Yeah, we wore them all out.
Don hung, you hung.
There's
tough.
nothing else. I'll entertain a motion to pay payroll claims and adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Cook. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gabhart. All those in favor